Hey, hey, Miss Burke. I'm tired, but I'm here. You sent me a request. You want to be on my show tonight, baby girl. You tired too? You ain't my tired though. I will not complain. God don't want me to. Uh, Another day in the life of life and life, and as the young kids say, I'm lifing right now. I'm lifing. Help me, Lord Jesus. 6 minutes late, but I'm here. Praise it, praise it, praise. I'm here. I do not own the rights to the music playing in the background. That's blues. That's the blues music you're playing back there. You hear playing back there. That's that blues music. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't give people enough time to come on. Did I bust my tea bag in there? Okay, I didn't bust it. I hope I didn't bust it. I got some organic tea brewing in the cup. What's the weather doing down there, Miss Debbie? It's raining up here. Raining and cold. Raining and cold. Honey. Raining and cold. What's this? I'm trying to wait for my I wore my hoodie yesterday. Favor ain't fair. I wore it yesterday. I ain't feel no favor yesterday. I did, because I didn't do. I didn't snatch their soul. Hmm. I didn't snatch their soul. So favor was in my part, because I'd have been in jail. All right, let me get started, because I know I got to get off of here in a certain amount of time. And the topic tonight is near and dear to my heart, like we all are. Um, so let's do our midweek check-in. When I checked in around like 5 something, I was waiting with everything because it's Wednesday, right? I put up the green heart. And that green heart says things are tough and I am struggling. And that I am. I try to be transparent within and everything that I do. I am struggling and I'm going to be reaching out to my pastors because I go to God and everything before I go to anybody else. So I prayed to God last night, talked to him today, going through some things in my mind. So I'm going to be talking to my pastors on Friday when we have prayer night. So things are tough. I'm struggling. It's fairly it can be dealt with, I think. So, and you throwing up the pin cards. Oh God. All right, all right, all right. If you are doing great, if you're doing great, throw up some red hearts. Great, throw up some red hearts. If you're doing okay, this is blue. This is not purple. This is blue. Throw up some blue hearts if you're doing okay. Purple, if you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if someone was to reach out to you, throw up some purple hearts. This is purple. Throw up some purple hearts. If you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if someone reached out to you, I would be reaching out to you, put your number in my DMs, or I would jump in your DMs to reach out to you if you're having a hard time. The red broken emoji, if you're in a really dark place, again, I would jump into your DMs. Just let me know what's going on. I can give you some resources. I can talk you through some things. I can help you through some things if you will allow me to. The broken red emoji heart. Hey, Miss Carla. It's going so bad that you can't take a rest. Let's go away. Girl, I'm ready. Miss Carla, okay. See, I told you that emoji works sometimes. Miss Deb threw up some pink emoji hearts, so she's having some harmony and balance in her life. If you're having some harmony and balance in your life, which is good, it's all right. There's some sugar. You have some sugar. Throw up them pink emoji hearts. If you're having some harmony and balance in your life, throw up them pink emoji hearts. If you're in between, throw up them yellow emoji hearts. Throw up them yellow emoji hearts. That incense is giving me life. That thing is smelling delicious in here. It's giving me life. As I, again, if things are tough and you're struggling, throw up them green emoji hearts. If things are tough and you're struggling, throw up them green emoji hearts. Throw up them white hearts if you're having some blankness, minimalism. You don't really want to do anything. You're stuck. Throw up them pink, them white emoji hearts. Hey, Sister Rita, how are you? How are you? Throw up them orange emoji hearts if you're feeling optimistic and uplifting. Those orange emoji hearts if you're feeling optimistic and uplifting. And Miss Carla, we're going to get to you in a minute. The gray emoji hearts if you're feeling cool and self-restraint. Cool and self-restraint. Throw up the gray emoji hearts if you're feeling cool and self-restraint. I did not have time to find an object or emoji heart or something that I felt that was like irritating, agitation, frustration, but I'm searching for it. So my dear friend, Miss Carter, she ain't throw up no hearts. She just threw up the emoji. She ain't throw up no hearts. It's the brown heart if you're having a emoji type of day. Is it because of the rain, Miss Carla, or your day was just... So throw up them brown hearts if you're having this type of day. And we have these type of days. I've had one of these type of days. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I threw up them brown hearts as I was having this type of day. It didn't seem like nothing was going right. Everybody was getting on my nerves. Nobody was listening to what I was saying. My lunch got cold, even though I warmed it up. So if you're having this type of day, throw up them brown emoji hearts. If you're having this type of day, we can discuss that. There you go, Miss Carla. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what's going on, Miss Carla. I'll let you know what's going on while I'm having a tough time and I'm struggling. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, light blue emoji hearts. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, put up some light blue emoji hearts. And our last emoji heart here is the black emoji heart. If there's some anger and sadness, we can talk about it. We can explore it. Some coping skills, how to get that anger and sadness down to another emotion. Throw up them black emoji hearts. My grandson actually looked at this last week and was like, he didn't know how to feel with all of these because it was too many. I think this weekend he's going to be with his dad. I'm not sure. It's it's some of you guys going to have a 3-day weekend. I won't. I'll have a 2-day weekend, but that's okay. And I'll still explore with him. He's about to be 14. Um, and those type of feelings, but it's difficult when you are living in a society where you can't control other people's issues and problems, but they affect your life. Like I just seen an accident happen on the on world news. Two cars on the expressway highway racing each other, zigzag from inside two cars and hit another car, and one of them kept going. And they found the car in the parking lot, was well into a residential parking lot, parking garage, found their car, and the other guy didn't have insurance. And the guy was just driving. The person, they didn't say it was a male or female, was just driving. They didn't say where they were going, and their car got hit. And so these two buffoons were driving on a highway and decided to race each other and zigzag in and out of traffic and hit the car on the right hand side, pushed it into the guardrail, and both of them kept going. That's not what happened to me. That's not why I'm tough, why I'm struggling, But it's difficult when you are not in control of somebody else's situation, but it affects your environment and how you feel, and affects you as a whole. And you can't do anything about it because you're not in control of their situation. They're in control of their situation. Um, yeah. So my topic tonight is bullying. What's their deal? What's the deal with these bullies? What is the deal with these bullies? Now, the incredible thing here about bullies is, and I always know this, bullies start at little children, little teeny babies, children. It's a learned behavior. Mm-hmm. So what's the deal with the bullying? Um, it says, why? I want to read the definition first before I say why do kids bully. The definition that the Anti-Bullying Alliance gave was, bullying is the repetitive, intentional hurting of one person or group by another person or by a group, where the relationship involves an imbalance of power. Bullying can be physical, verbal, or psychological. It can happen face to face or online. That didn't satisfy me. That's just too bleak of bullying for me. That's just too bleak of bullying. Okay, so bullying can be divided into 4 types of bullying. You have the psychological, sometimes referred to as the emotional or relational type, verbal, physical categories, and you have the relational. Then I ask, why do kids bully? Because kids go on to adults that do the same thing. Adults do bully too. You think you just going to school, maybe on the playground, maybe on your block, in your community, sometimes maybe at church, that kids bully. But kids grow up to be adults that bully. Mm-hmm. hmm hmm So it's a mixed reason of why kids bully. Sometimes kids pick on kids because they need a victim, someone that they can feel to be superior over, someone they feel to be, to be the weaker person. I'm bigger than you, you're small, so I'm over you, I have more power over you. Sometimes to make that person feel important, sometimes to make that person seem to be popular with the other students, with the other people in the block, and sometimes to make that person feel like they're in control. Sometimes kids torment others because that's the way they've been treated and they think it's a normal behavior. So kids bully sometimes because they're being treated, tormented at home, be it though their parents are bullying them or just, mistreating them verbally, physically, psychologically. Maybe they don't have their biological parents. Maybe they grown up in foster home, and they're in foster care, and they're being treated bad by the foster children there, or maybe by the foster parents, maybe by the what do they call it? They call it the person that not the foster parent. They call them something else. But they're being tormented by the guardian, the adult that's over them, and they think that behavior is normal. And now we have these TV shows, these popular TV shows that promote meanness. Now, a lady called me. I'm not, because all my days are just merging together for this week, because this week has been crazy. It's only a third day in the week. A lady called me about it was yesterday, her 13-year-old daughter. And she said, "Y'all gotta come get her. She's taking care of her mother. Her mother's on hospice, and her daughter just trashed her house." And she said, "You gotta come get her, because if she would have hit my mother with something, her mom's on hospice, you ought to have been calling, someone would have been calling the coroner to come pick her up. I can't have her in my house like this." Now, she didn't tell me how old the girl was until I started asking her questions. And I asked her, I said, "Well, what do you think is, triggering her? What's going on with the daughter?" And she says, "I don't know. I think it's these TV shows these kids are watching." And I said, "TV shows?" And she said, "Yeah, she thinks she's a baddie." A baddie. Never heard. She said, "Yeah, she's watching this TV show called Baddies." I still haven't Googled the TV show called Baddies. But I remember my daughters at one time was watching the Bad Girls Club. And on the Bad Girls Club, they're in this one space. And I think Flavor Flav was running the show. And, to give them some moral and ethics to try to clean themselves up to be good citizens in the world, these women. And they would throw drinks in each other's faces, and they would, dress provocatively, and they had issues with social skills and making friends, and difficulty with work and things like that in the Bad Girls Club. You have people that are voted off of shows or shunned or ridiculed for their performance or lack of talent on shows. American Idol, I love The Voice. That show was on last night. These cooking shows, there's a lot of TV shows on TV now that ridicules people. And some people go on the shows just for that 2 or 3 minutes of fame. You know that, right? But the TV shows diminishes a person's confidence and self-esteem. So let's talk about the four types of the bullying. The verbal bullying, it's a name calling, making someone just making someone feel ashamed about maybe their clothes, their height, maybe they have a peculiar smell, but talking about them, maybe their weight, but the verbal name calling. And they usually do that when the adult is not around. They'll whisper something, or they'll tell the classmate that's sitting next to them, and they'll laugh, and then they'll tell another classmate and they'll laugh, and then the person that they're talking about, they don't get the joke because they're talking about that person. The physical, we know what happens. You can get kicked, hit, punched, threatened physical violence. Then the new thing here. The new thing is the cyber or electronic bullying, and in our generation, Miss Carla's generation, Miss Deb's generation. Hey, Miss Rita. Hey, Pastor James. Those generations, there was no cyberbullying or electronic bullying, and that's through an encounter that can fall into more than one of those categories. So even with the cyberbullying, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, any of those social media platforms, you can go on here, and not just that particular person, not that just that one person. It can be anybody. It can be anybody from across the world will latch onto you, and they call them trolls now, and bully you. And it's constant. For children, it's constant. It's over. So you get out of school and you get bullied. Relational bullying or emotional bullying is indirectly behind the person's back. So it's for an intended target, so that wants to gain status by diminishing the social standings of another person. So they're not doing it in their face. They're talking behind their back. So when you go to school the next day, everybody looking at you twisted. You're like, what's going on, girl? Oh, we heard this about you. Something that's probably not even true. And everybody then carried it all around the school. Or they have a picture of you that they put on the internet that they spliced together, got together, and it's not even a real picture, and it's all around the internet. And once it's on the internet, is high in the sky, right? So what they're saying is there's really no legal definition to bullying. And I'm gonna say the reason this May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this needs to really be talked about. And parents, I really want you to be on here. Grandparents, guardians, aunts, uncles, cousins, whoever the adult is, the older sister, the older brother, the cousin, pay attention tonight. Because whatever happened at Overbrook High School when the 30-year-old was called because the student at the school called them because they we don't know. I'm speculating. Don't quote me on this. I don't know if the person that called the 30-year-old was being bullied. Was they fearful of somebody going to hurt them or not? Don't know. Only thing we do know that the news said was the 30-year-old came up to the school. The 30-year-old had a weapon. 2 students, 2 children that attended that school may have gotten into a fight, a tussle. 30-year-old shot. Officer got shot. Officer went to the hospital. 30-year-old was locked up. Now, what the police commissioner said was back in his day, when there was an issue between 2 people, they fought it out, fist to fist. No one never called anybody from home to come to the school to fight for them. So I was an advocate. I was a person that got bullied in school. Middle school, elementary school, high school. I'm not going to say college, because when I got into college, I was an adult. I was went to college 2007. So I was an adult. I had kids. I had a job. I was an adult, and I would say I dare let anybody bully me as an adult. Got the wrong one. So there's no legal definition about bullying, but it's described as an unwanted behavior. Remember, the other behavior, the anti-bullying allowance gave was repetitive, intentional hurting of a person by another person, involves imbalance of power. It takes physical, verbal, and psychological abuse. This definition went to the nitty gritty. It's unwanted behavior from a person that is either offensive, intimidating, malicious, or insulting, and abusive or misuse of power that undermines, humiliates, causes physical and emotional harm. Now, it was an article that I was reading called Child Care Education Institute, and this article was written 2 years ago, September 28th, 2003. It says one out of the most concerning social interactions facing children in schools today. About 20% of students between the ages of 12 and 18, 15% are bullied online or via text. But 20% of students between 12 and 18 get bullied in school. 20%. 15 of those students are bullied online or bullied through text. Now, if I give you my phone number, that means you're a friend, not an associate, not an acquaintance. You are a friend. You have a reason, emergency. I'm talking to you. We're busting it up, as they say. So how we come from being friends to you texting me, intimidating me, doing something malicious to me? 15%. Oh, I read that one. 40% of bullied during school do not notify an adult. They don't say anything. 46% of the kids, 12 to 18, don't say nothing about them being bullied. You can look the statistics up about bullying at stopbullying.gov. I'll put that on in the chat for you. Now, cyberbullying, and this is with teens, mainly teens. It doesn't have anything to do with our kindergartners, because kindergartners, they bully. I used to tell my grandson all the time, because he was, born only child. Everybody loved little old Naeem. So they always gave him stuff. Oh my God, he's so cute. Hear this, hear that, hear this. He's the 5th generation from my grandmother. So I'm his grandmother. My mother is his great grandmother, and her mother was his great great grandmother. So imagine all these women, my sister, her daughter, my daughter, all these women giving him things. And I used to tell my grandson, sharing is caring. Even though you're an only child, you have to teach him he can share. When he's around his other cousins and other people that he played with, we taught him to share his stuff. But some people don't teach their, children to share, especially when they bring them up by themselves and playing by themselves. So once they do go to daycare, or once they do get in school, someone else, grab their toy or grab something that's in a pile of the toys and play with it, they take it back and bang them on the head with it. It's mine. And then other kids like, oh my God. Oh, the Tonka truck, they head hurting. The Lego, they head hurting because they got busted in the head because this kid wasn't taught how to share. Or they push them down because they weren't taught how to share. Remember, it says that it's a thing that probably is learned at home, right? So cyberbullying, remember, that's the electronic thing. This is really dealing with teens. Cyberbullying, teens are having unlimited access to digital devices. And this is the ability for perpetrators to hide behind screens. And this is the hardest category to keep tabs on. Bullying might come from someone you don't even know, or you wouldn't even expect victims of. And they feel alone, and they feel ostracized from their peers with nowhere to hide from these invasive attacks. Cyberbullying. And again, some of them are, they call them trolls because other people come in and they don't know you. And as soon as they read some of the comments, they jump on a bandwagon, they say. Oh, and they look at your pictures. Oh, you do look fat. Ew, look at that weave. It's raggedy in her hair. Oh, you don't even have on the right clothes. You look like you're poor. Look at your... And this one I just learned today, which is something that we all should already know. And I equate identity-based bullying with when 9/11 happened. When 9/11 happened, everyone was really afraid to get on planes. Everybody was really afraid of Muslims, the Islamic community. Everybody was really afraid. Everybody latched on to want to hurt those kind of people. The same thing when COVID came out. Everybody was really afraid of the Asian community because somebody that we know was like, those Asian people gave it to us. That's an Asian, it came from over there. And everybody was really afraid of the Asian culture. So identity-based bullying is any form of related characteristics that are a part of a person's identity or perceived identity. A group such as as a race, religion, disability, immigration status, sexual orientation, physical appearance, and it targets who the person or student is like a core part of their identity. It can be especially harmful because it impacts not only the individual, but everyone else around them who also identifies in the same way, who worries that they may be next to be targeted. So that's identity-based bullying. When 9/11 happened, those bad people, only those bad people that had that plan and that plot and that scheme to put those planes in the air and to put to harm those people with those two towers, the world was looking at the Islamic community saying all Islamic people are terrorists. And some people were going around beating or hitting, destroying masjids, hitting Islamic men, just doing things to Islamic women. The same thing with our Jewish people. The same thing with the LGBTQ2 plus A people. Let me just follow my pages because I went all over it over. We went through our kids' bullying. Signs of bullying. Signs. Acting different and seeming anxious. So if you notice that your child acts different, if you're walking them to school, or if you're telling them to get up in the morning to get ready for school and they seem anxious and nervous, ask them. My daughter was telling me last week that my grandson was having some problems, some issues in school. He goes to private school, so he stays at school. And I was like, okay, all right. This is the second time she was telling me about my grandson. And like I said, I got bullied in school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and it wasn't fun. when my sister found out, my twin sister found out that I got bullied in school, I was running home almost every day from elementary school, from 6 in Clearfield to 6 in Allegheny up the it's a long hill, and I'm running home every day. Running home every day. Come on now. You don't do it running home every day. And when my sister found out, she said, "Oh no, we ain't having that. You're gonna fight these girls." And I'm like, Kim, I'm not fighting. I don't know how to fight. I will not. You don't fight these girls. 3 girls. Long story short, I fight the girls. I want to fight. I'm not bragging. I never wanted to fight. So each time after that, if anybody picked on me, she was there and she would make me fight someone. And each time that I fought someone, I still was afraid. Each time that I fought, I still beat, but I still was afraid. And so people would go around the school because I was the tallest person in class, the skinniest person in class. So I looked like a string bean with a big head, knock knees, little wide hips. Just imagine that. They call me Tweety Bird. So just imagine the little bird on the Peanuts with Snoopy in them. I'm that bird, big head, little legs, high yellow. In school, fighting. My mom never knew the signs, acting nervous, not eating, not sleeping. My sister would see me running and she was like, no. And even fighting, against the book. So not eating, not sleeping well, not doing things that you usually enjoy. I was a nerd, so I was different. So I enjoyed staying at the school and clapping the erasers for the teachers. I enjoyed it. Seeming moodier, more easily upset than usual. Do you see these things in your children, and your sisters and your cousins, your neighbors? I asked my daughter, ask him, is he getting bullied in school? She never got back to me if he was or not. And so I had to ask. I said, "Now, are you getting bullied in school?" He said, "Oh no, Nene." And it made me laugh because we all my mom's kids, she had 4 children. And she has, I think, 13. Kira, Tamara, me, Jay, Legend. She has 7 grandchildren and 2 great grand. All of us have that Bruce Banner DNA. All of us. And if you don't know who Bruce Banner is, he's the Incredible Hulk. And we know when Incredible Hulk, when Bruce Banner, he gets angry, he transitions or turns into the Incredible Hulk. So we all, that's my mom's DNA, it's in her DNA. My mom was a woman of few words. But if you got angry enough, she would turn from Carolyn to the Incredible Hulk. So all her children have that Bruce Banner DNA. And my grandson said, no, Nene, I'm not getting bullied in school. It's just, sometimes the light in school is difficult because they have those long bubs in there. And he's trying to make the honor roll. And I'm like, baby, it's almost the end of the school year. Like, you got 17 more days left. You already made the dean's list. Don't push yourself that hard. You'll be all right. How are your grades? I got A's and B's and some C's. Okay, so you can coast a little bit. Don't try not to not do your work. Just ease through it. But you're okay. You're okay. So if they seem a little bit more uneasy, a little bit more upset than usual, if they're avoiding certain situations, like not taking a school bus, not wanting to go to school, Be mindful of that. For the younger kids, the younger ones, maybe in preschool, kindergarten, sometimes third and second grade, they might revert back to those toddler and baby behaviors, with the baby talk, attachment to you, want to be near you all the time, even some bedwetting. Even some bedwetting. Okay. And it says here how to fight how to fight against bullying in school. And some of these things I did not agree with, but because I'm a change agent, um, I'm gonna tell you the list that I got. I also have some other information here from the Philadelphia School District, and because I'm the trap therapist, I'm going to give you my take on or solutions on to bullying. Always tell an adult. Always tell an adult. Now, again, the scene that happened at Overbrook, that person did tell an adult. And what was the solution? What was the issue? What happened? The adult came to the school in a violent manner. So telling an adult necessarily is not good all the time. And I was saying this to someone the other day, and this may seem harsh, but these are facts. The 30-year-olds, the 20-year-olds are a product, not all of them, are a product of the crack era. And their children are a product of that as well. So they don't really have common sense. They were not brought up on great laws and morals and ethics. They basically raised themselves. And they're rowdy and rude and lawless. They were maybe raised by their grandparents, and their grandparents are elderly or maybe not even around because their parents were out there using drugs. So when it says tell a parent, an adult, I have tell the principal, a coach, a basketball coach, maybe a teacher, or the school counselor if you have one, or a nurse. Sometimes it's not great to tell a parent because we see what happened when you told the parent and the parent came to the school. Now, I didn't really like this one, and I have a question mark here. But again, I have to go through this list. Avoid the bully and use the buddy system. Don't know if that works. Don't know if that works, but use the buddy system. The buddy system works. And they say it's allied behavior, and it's to help support the targets. They call it the bystander law, and it's happening a lot sometimes when people stand around and they watch. They don't participate in it, they just watch what happens. And this happened when I was in school too. I remember a really close friend of mine, and I love her to this day. She was walking home from school, and I seen this crowd just, getting larger and larger and larger as I'm walking home from school too. And I think we were in middle school at that time. And I'm like, well, what's going on up there? Now, this particular day, I ain't getting bullied, so I'm happy. I'm just walking home from school. And as I get closer and closer and closer, I see them pushing this girl. And I'm like, who is that? And as I get closer to the crowd and the conflict, I see that I know the person who they pushing. And I'm like, What in the heck? And at this particular time, I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I'm an ally. Oh no, 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 no. I'm like, you need help? Like, what's going on here? Oh, she thinks she better than everybody else, is what they saying. She ain't better than everybody else. Um, she try not to fight nobody. And I'm like, fight nobody. I'm like, her? She don't need to fight nobody. Like, she don't even start problems with anybody. And remember, I get bullied in school. I'm like, she don't even start problems with nobody. Like, why y'all messing with her? And so I stop everybody, like, hold on. Like, why are y'all like messing with her? Like, she don't bother anybody. Like now I'm in turn fighting for her and fighting for me because I bother nobody. I bother anybody. And they're like, what you they asked her, do you want to fight me? And I'm asking like, do you? I said, no, you know what? Don't fight her, fight me. Fight me. You're trying to fight her. She don't want to fight y'all. Fight me. Of course, because I had a reputation in elementary school, they wasn't trying to fight me. The crowd dispersed and we walked home together. And from then forward, we would walk to school together, and I would wait till she got out of school and we would walk home together sometimes. That's ally behavior. Supporting her or him, not participating in the aggressing behaviors, stopping the person from judging a person, getting to know the person who they are, trying to like be protecting them, making sure they're not hurting somebody. Back in the day, we would call it getting jumped or tag teamed, not allowing that to happen, right? That happened several times. I tell people I got jumped before several times. I've been jumped before several times. And sometimes they look at me, I'm like, oh, no, you should look at them. They got more bruises and scars than I do. Trust me, I made it out fine. So ally behavior, not the bystander behavior. The bystander is you're actually standing there watching this person be talked about, harmed, or hurt, or you're standing there while this person is getting hurt, fight, punch, hit, whatever, and you're not doing anything about it. So an ally behavior is helping to support the person, not participating in, letting the aggressor know to stop. Like, it's not right. Speaking up for that person. Uh-oh. Now, if your kid comes and tell you, or if a child comes and tell you that they are being bullied, listen to them. Don't rush to say, let's go kick some butt. Because that's the last thing that's on that child's mind, is to go back and fight. They have fear of themselves, right? They want to be comforted. They want to be supported. They want to feel like they're safe. So listen to them. Don't say let's go take revenge, or let's go back, or again, like the person that went to the school with the firearm for a child. That's not a thing to do. Sometimes kids feel like it's their own fault, that if they looked a certain way or if they acted different, that it wouldn't be happening to them in the first place, the bullying. And I know I can contest to that. And I'm going to say this, not in a real bougie way, as my family call me. I'm bougie. But I was kind of a nerd in school. Elementary school, middle school, a little bit, I shied away from it in high school because I got bullied in school and then I got bullied at home as well. Can't be smart at home. And you got the brother and sister that I got. You just can't. They like to have fun. They play the dozens, ain't no playing Ain't no doing your homework when you first get home. They want to watch TV and, you know. So I had to be two different people. My brother and sister, they were kind of hood smart, and I wasn't hood smart. I was book smart. So sometimes I felt like, you know, I can't help it because I'm smart. I'm a nerd and I know a little bit more. And I used to get in trouble a lot at home. My grandma said, you know, you think you're so smart. You don't know everything. You should shut your mouth sometimes. And I would say, I'm sorry if I'm smart. You know, I can't help. And bow in the mouth. So I dumbed myself down. I was two different people, as Superman was. Clark Kent, and then he was Superman. Right? It took Clark Kent a lot of energy, a lot of control not to always be Superman. But it also took Superman a lot of control when things happened that he wasn't always running to the rescue or something, even though you've seen in a movie that he was. So sometimes kids think it's their fault if they were a little bit different, if they acted a little, you know, in a certain way, if they had these clothes, these sneaks, all this stuff, that they wouldn't get picked on. And so some kids will try to go shoplifting to get the new sneaks, to get the new whatever. Some kids will try to, you know, be smoking weed or drinking like the other kids just to fit in. Some kids will try to, you know, hang out and, you know, do the things that they see on these TV shows, the baddies, the bad girls club, all this stuff to fit in. It's, you know, it's not worth it. If your kid or your child, your family member, again, if you're telling the teacher, the principal, the person in school, try to have a meeting with the school. So that means you're alerting the school what's going on. And I know these are your babies. I know you don't want to see your babies getting hurt. If you went to the school and said, listen, this is happening with my child, I want you to know about it. Your child come home 2 and 3 days later, and they tell you again, they keep messing with me, go back to the school and have another meeting. Ask for mediation the next time. I'm going to tell you guys, follow the school handbook on the bullying policy. They give it to y'all every year because they make y'all sign a piece of paper saying that you read it. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know y'all don't read the handbook because they say if you want something to, if you don't want, let me make sure I'm saying this right. If you want to keep something away from African American people, put it in the book because they say we don't read. The bullying policy is in a book, is in a student handbook. It's very extensive. It has some language in there that you should know. Read the handbook. It's the same thing when you're going to a doctor, you're going to a new doctor, you're going to a specialist, they give you forms. You're like, oh, I sign these forms all the time. No. Read each form. Because some of them forms takes away the liability if something happens. Just a simple referral, a simple checkup. Things happen, and now you're in the hospital, and now you're sedated, and now and your family done passed away, and you can't sue the hospital because you didn't read their form. You checked off the liability. Trust me, I worked in intake. There's forms like that. Trust me. Read your forms. I've said this a lot of times before. When you're getting medication, and it's from Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens, wherever you're getting your medication from, and that thick little book for that one little pill you have, read it. Side effects, the different names of the pill. It might interact with probably medication you're already taken. Read it. Another sign that can help your child when they're getting bullied, and then again, this is another one that I don't agree with, is walking away. So I'm from the inner city. What do you think you should do? You walk away And sometimes you're getting hurt. You're getting hurt. You're forcing this person to go after you. Don't turn your back. That's when you're supposed to have their ally with you. I would say have that person. Make sure you have someone with you. And sometimes if that person is not with you, dealing with a bully can hurt a child's confidence. To help rebuild it, encourage your child to spend time with friends who have positive influence on them. Again, they were saying that the bully can text you out the night. Again, if the bully is texting you with your number, that means that that person may have been your friend, or that person that's bullying you or intimidating you or harassing you got your number from someone that was your friend or that is your friend. Kids today have cell phones, and they're getting cell phones younger and younger and younger. I don't agree with that. I know parents be like, well, I need to get in contact with them all the time. You're at work, they in school. If you're not 12 and up, and I think I didn't give my kids didn't have cell phones. They didn't. I didn't give them a phone. They grandparents gave them phones. I didn't give them a phone. Mm-mm. I didn't pay for their cell phone. Today is different. If you're not 12 and up, I don't think you should have a cell phone. I'm taking you to school. I'm at work, so you're safe in school. If something happens, the school will notify me. Those phones is the most deadliest thing these children have. I can't tell you how many parents have sat into my office when I was in outpatient therapy because someone took pictures of their child nude. Someone sent porn to their child. And now they want to categorize that boy or girl as a sex offender because that's what child pornography is, going back and forth between two kids, but they don't know that. Those phones are deadly. That's why they call it cyberbullying and all that stuff that falls under there. So the walking away, and they say don't encourage your children to fight. Sometimes in order to get that bully off of you, the only way to do that is to fight. Remember, the police commissioner said back in his day, when they had a problem with another student or with a bully, they didn't call anybody. They fought it out. But today, it's just not one-on-one. It's a whole cluster of these kids getting together. And that's what do they do? Call it when they first the flash mob. How destructive the kids was getting, like jumping, just literally, you don't even have anything to do with it. You're jumping on this one individual for no reason. So full of anger and hate for no reason. So that's why I say don't walk away. Because not only if that one person that's out in the front that's saying stuff that's probably all in your face, but once you walk away, you don't know who's behind you might be doing something to threaten your child. Don't tell your child to walk away. Mm-mm. Now that would be time when you say, call me on the phone. That's the time to say, call me on the phone. So building your child's confidence up. Encourage them to spend time with people that are a positive influence to them. Having them participate in, like clubs and sports and other enjoyable activities that builds their strengths and builds, positive friendships. Encourage your kids to talk about, their day. What was the good part of their day? How did they enjoy their day in school? What happened? This opens up communication with you and your child, a dialogue with you and your child. And then this becomes a habit. And this should be happening anyway. This should be happening anyway. In the past, when I was growing up, all right, baby. When I was growing up, because my mom didn't talk that much, there was no dialogue. It was do your homework, dinners at this time, and that was it. And I learned from that. I talked to my kids. My kids were able to ask questions, and they still are. My husband doesn't like that sometimes, but that's the way it is. But me and my kids communicate. We talk to each other, and the same thing with my grandson. There's an open dialogue. There's no pulling teeth when you have to talk. There's a conversation. There's a communication. It's a dance. Now, if you don't know, if your child is in public schooling, and I know public schooling, people say public schooling is not really good, but sometimes if you don't know about public schooling in the school district, you don't know. The school district has lots of programs that can help with students. They have student leadership. I'm going to be leaving the information in the contact, but student leadership, you can call 215-400-4830 and push option 3. I'm going to leave the website in there. They have student initiative and programs like Black Achievement, Peer Group Connection, Mentoring, Student Voice Studios, and Gender and Sexuality Alliances. They also have student transition centers, and it's the same number, 215-400-4830. You can push option number 8. They also have a anti-bullying, no bullying policy at the school. And if you didn't know, oh, that's okay. There is a fine of $750 that the parent has to pay after the 3rd incident of bullying. So the parent gets told that your child is bullying. The parent's supposed to talk to their child about stopping the behavior. And the child continues to bully, so that's the 2nd offense. And the parent's supposed to tell their child again. And so maybe that 2nd offense, the child maybe even gets disciplined in school, suspended or something like that. And that 3rd offense, under the policy is HB 1779 in the student handbook, is $750 fine after the 3rd offense. And that's under the student's rights. And I'll leave that link in the comment section. So kids bully, and oftentimes those kids that bully turn into adults that also tend to bully. And again, I like I said, I'm not one to promote violence. Oftentimes you can't talk to people, you can't reason with people to leave you be. If you have to resort to violence to get that monkey off your back because they don't want to listen, then so be it. Every bully that I have encountered from elementary, middle school, and high school was a resort of violence. They never wanted to listen, like, leave me alone. I'm telling you, if I go there, and I always warned them. Like I said, every time I fought, every time I had an altercation, I told the person, listen, I don't want to fight you. I ain't trying to fight. First of all, I know I'm going to get suspended if I fight. my mom or my grandma wasn't having it. I know I'm going to get suspended if I fight, no matter what's going on. So I don't want to fight you. And every time I had a fight, I was scared every single time. No matter if I want to fight or not, I want to fight every time. but I was here. So to the believer, you have to find out what's going on with your child, with that person. It's sometimes they say, again, it's a learned behavior. Sometimes they want to be superior over the person. They want to take the eye off of them and put the eye on another person. It's a learned behavior. Maybe they get tormented at home, and then they come to school and torment somebody at school. Something's happening at home, or they're looking at some TV show on TV saying, "Oh, this is cool. Let me try this at school." Watch and monitor what your kids are watching on TV, what they're listening to in their ears, who they're hanging around. I don't believe a lot of people say, "Well, where you going?" I'm going to my friend's house. Who is your friend? Who they kin is? Can I meet their mom? Can their mom call me? Let me go over their house for a minute. My daughter is about to get married next year. She's been with her fiance for, I believe, 7 years now. And when we first met him, I said, "Who your kin is? Who your peoples?" And he was like, "What?" I said, "Who your peoples?" And she was fully grown. Same for my son. Who your family? Who your peoples? You need to know who these people are, what their numbers are, where they at. There's so many children on Facebook that's missing. And I share those pictures. How come you can't go over their friend house and say, is my daughter here? Is my son here? Did you see them last? Or you don't have their phone number? Those old school rules that we didn't like growing up need to come back. They were put in place for a reason. I'm not talking about the beating and the spanking and go get the switch off the tree. No, I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the rules. You can't leave out this house without letting me know where you're going. Where's your phone? Where's the where you going? What's your friend house? My grandson used to never leave out the house. He stayed in his own room, in his own little whatever. And now he goes out to his friend's house. He catch Uber. He on the bus. And excuse me, can I get a number? Matter of fact, screenshot me a picture of who they look like. I ain't playing. Oh, okay, that's who they look like. All right, where they number at? All right. What time you think you're gonna be home? 8 o'clock? Cool. I have a phone number. I have a picture of the little boy who we going with, and I can call their house. Now you got Google Maps. I can put the address in and then shoot down to where that house is. I do not play with mine. It's dangerous out here. Guys, I'm going to try to have a guest next week. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because this woman, this dynamic woman, she's so dynamic. She went through so much, but her energy, her testimony, her love, I'm going to talk to her. She's of course she's going to say yes. She's going to be on next week, and she's going to be ending Mental Health Awareness Month. She's going to have an array of things she's going to talk about. I'm going to actually just introduce her, and I'm going to allow her to have the floor. She can talk about whatever she wants to talk about because she has so much under her hat that she does. This is going to be for women and for men. So stay tuned. Next week, her name is Miss Valerie. I'll put her information up there. I love you guys. You've been watching The Trap Lounge. My name is Kimble Evans, your trap therapist. Stay safe and have a good night.